Hey everybody, I'm going to be showing off the first installment of my knife collection today. This is going to be a multi-part series of videos starting with my production line and then going ahead and moving into my custom knives. Today I'll be starting with my spydercos. And just to take a quick second, the main reason behind these videos is to really show off what I believe a passionate knife collection looks like. I've been seeing a lot of videos on the internet that claim to really be superior knife collections, but they don't really make the cut for it, in my opinion at least. They seem to lack a lot of passion, and most of them are just really shit knives. So I'm going to be going ahead and starting off with my spydercos here, and the first knife I'm going to be showing off here is this is the Gale Bradley. It's one of their newer knives in their line. It's got a beautiful carbon fiber handle. It's a CPM M4 blade. M4 is really sort of the hot steel now. Gale Bradley designed this knife. He is a world champion, cutting competition champion. And this is his first endeavor into the folders with Spyderco, and it came out really beautiful. It's a super heavy duty folder meant to be used hard. So good job, Gale Bradley. Moving on, this is the Cali 3 in carbon fiber. It's got a S30V blade with a spine lock on the back there. Beautiful knife, super smooth action. Got a little fake hamon. I don't know if you can see that little line down the center there. It's not a real one. It's meant to look like one, I guess. Pretty cool knife. Moving down the line, we have Spyderco's Military in part serration, all black. This also has an S30V blade and the black G10 handle. Super big folder. I don't carry it as often as I probably could, simply because it's a larger folder, but it has a really smooth action, and it is one of Spyderco's staples. It's been in the collection for a long time. Just as this knife below it, this is their police model, also in the G10. This is the VG10 steel, which is Spyderco's bread and butter. They've had that steel in their collection for pretty much as long as the company has been around. This is a huge knife. It's probably one of their biggest, and very cool knife. Smooth. Below that is one of their more unique designs. This is the Phoenix. Has a sort of a ball locking mechanism, so when you pull this downward, you're able to close the knife, and if you can see the mechanism when you open it, it kind of pushes the ball back and forth until it locks in place. You can sort of grip this knife at the base for a real tight grip, or you can use the finger choil up here if you want to have a more defined grip to the knife. It's a very cool knife, and I like the white micarta handle. Beautiful. Underneath that is the T-Mag. This is part of their non-locking series. This might have been the first one, I'm not quite sure, but this uses a rare earth magnet in the back here on the spine to hold the knife in place while it's open. You simply put enough pressure on the knife to have it move forward, and you're able to kind of close it and open it, and then the magnet will lock it in place. I'll get into more detail about why Spyderco chose to have some of their non-locking knives in a little bit, but this also has a carbon fiber handle and a S30V blade. Very cool. I like the upsweep on the blade there. It's a very unique design. I like it a lot. Underneath that, we have the Spyderco Paramilitary. This is one of their limited edition paramilitaries. This is in the light green with the D2 steel. This has a weirder spine locking mechanism. It's like a liner lock on the back. Spyderco has a few other knives I'm aware of that have this locking mechanism, but I have yet to see this locking mechanism outside of Spyderco and I believe Benchmade. But it works the same as a liner lock as if it were in the front, but just as in the back here. It's a little more annoying, I feel like. I don't know exactly why they chose to put it in the back, but It's a super smooth knife also, and I actually love this knife. I've had this knife for a while and I've kept it in great condition. I carry it a lot. It's a great knife, perfect size to carry around. This is a much smaller knife, obviously. This is the stainless steel Dragonfly. This is a great knife. It has the spine locking mechanism here in the back. This also has their VG10 steel, and I don't carry this knife as much, but it's a great little utility knife. Kind of borders on the lower end of the tactical, but it can still be used in any application. But that's the Dragonfly. Below that we have my all-time favorite. I mean, this is one of my favorite Spydercos to come out. This is the stretch model. This is the first stretch before they turned it into their mass production line. This has the carbon fiber handle on it. This also has the ZDP 189, which is my personal favorite steel. This is altogether the greatest shape. I mean, it just flows so perfectly. I know that the owner of Spyderco sort of designed this knife for himself and loved it so much that he ended up putting it in his line. I've carried this knife for years. I love it. It has never let me down. It is one of my favorite Spydercos on the table. Below that, I have the staple. I mean, this is their Delica plain blade. If you don't own a Delica, you don't have a knife. You're not doing it up with the knife collection. This is as old school as it gets for Spyderco. I mean, this is VG10 steel with their classic Spyderco handle. I mean, it doesn't get any more classic than that. Below that would appear to be another Delica, but it's actually one of their H1 knives. The H1 steel is a non-rusting steel. You can put this thing in the ocean and it wouldn't rust up. It looks very similar to the Delica in size, weight, shape, everything. It's just that it has a higher quality steel as far as you know, being all-terrain. Below that is one of the most unique Spydercos to come out. It's their Kukri in the same color green as the limited edition paramilitary up there. The Kukri is a classic knife, mostly seen in fixed blades only, but Spyderco's, you know, creativity never ceases to amaze me. They've actually put it into a folder, and not just that, but they've made it, I mean, they've done such a good job slimming it down to really not be able to see the variation in blade style. It's a VG10, which personally I would have liked to have seen maybe like an S30V, but it is a very cool folder, very unique blade, and it is just all around a great knife. Below, moving back up here, we have one of the first non-locking knives for Spyderco. They've actually revamped it with this. This is the Urban Wharncliffe in an orange, and this has the stop point halfway down, you know, which makes it legal in most states because it isn't considered a gravity knife, because it's very difficult to flick open because of that sort of safety mechanism there halfway through. Moving back over here, this is the Spyderco Copa in the pearl abalone. Not much of a tactical knife, but it is a beautiful utility knife. The Copa, you know, comes in many variations, but I was personally attracted to the pearl. I think it's pretty, I guess. Below that, here is another staple in their collection. This is the Endura. This is the new Endura in the racing green. This also has the ZDP 189 steel, which is new for the Endura. Usually it comes in the VG10 classic knife by Spyderco. Below that, another classic. Here's another Delica with the stainless steel handle, half serration. Beautiful knife. Moving over here, this is one of their newer knives. This is the Robert Terzola designed Slip It. It's again another non-locking knife. It has the midway point. You can hear the sort of double clicks when you open it, and just acts as it's a great knife. I love it. I've been carrying this recently. It's got a great blade style. It's also S30V, and you can see the Robert Terzola. I don't know if you can see that, but Robert Terzola is like the godfather of tactical knives, and this is a great collaboration. Not the first with him and Spyderco, but the newest, and I think one of the best that he's done so far. And moving on, here we have the UK penknife in the same green that you've seen recently. It's another non-locking knife by Spyderco. And then finally, rounding out the collection down here is the first of many autos. This is the Spyderco Embassy auto knife here, and you'll be seeing more of those to come.